And so we can't talk about what these children are going to grow up with. We should talk about whether or not these children are going to grow up in the first place. And that should be what dominates our conscience right now, and what drives our policies, and what drives our emotions right now.
So when I had a conversation with Elon Musk, he suggested that what Israel should do is conspicuous acts of kindness. So do as much positive things in Gaza as possible, on a basic individual human level and at a policy level, at every level. What do you think about that?
I mean, you don't pass out candy in a concentration camp. You end the occupation. And so there has to be a solution that is beyond merely acts of kindness. At the end of the day, if you're occupying a people, you have to remove that occupation. Apartheid is not dealt with by acts of kindness on the part of the occupying power. Apartheid is dealt with by ending apartheid. And so there has to be a level of accountability. It's not just acts of kindness. It's not just treating the people with more dignity. It's giving them the ability to pursue their own dignity. There's a reason why it's called Palestinian self-determination. The United States likes to use it in all of its inconsequential statements that we need Palestinian self-determination too. But the United States also voted against 138 states in the United Nations to allow for Palestinian self-determination. Self-determination means I get to pursue my own course of worth. I get to pursue my own happiness. I don't have to depend on the benevolence of my occupier. And when my occupier feels like, throwing me a few more crumbs, it has to end. There has to be a point now where the world says, this is not sustainable. It's not just about ending the present genocide. A ceasefire is the bare minimum. I think any decent human being would be calling for a ceasefire right now, but at some point you cease occupation, you cease apartheid, because what led to the ability of Israel to carry out a genocide without any accountability was that the global arena has permitted it to do so, largely due to American obstruction of justice.
Is violence an effective method of resistance?
So the framework that I would propose is that Dr. King mentioned that peace is not the absence of violence, it's the presence of justice. And so occupation and apartheid are violent even in their most benevolent manifestations. The default of occupation is that it is unjustified. The default of apartheid is that it is unjustified, and it must be dealt with.